So, good afternoon everyone. We are just looking up for the Intelect Neo device. I'll show you all the specific feature for Neo device in this video. The company called Chattanooga, firstly launched in 1947. The company had now recently launched a device called Intelect Neo, which is all-in-one unit for electrotherapy, ultrasound, laser, vacuum with surface EMG. So I'll show you the features of this. So this is the unit. We can touch the screen and it will power on. So I'm just touching the device. There are 35 waveforms of electrotherapy in this, with ultrasound 1 and 3 MHz, laser, surface EMG. We can add the vacuum and give the combination treatment of electrotherapy with ultrasound. So I'll show you, this is the home screen. This shows electrotherapy, ultrasound, combination, surface EMG, laser. We have a suggested clinical protocols. We can assign some shortcuts of the protocols here on the screen, home screen. We have a patient data. We can save the data to the patient, and also we have the anatomical library through which we can educate the patient with the particular condition they came for the treatment. So I'll show you, start from the electrotherapy. We have different parameters of electrotherapy like interferential, pulse biphasic, Russian, pulse monophasic, diadynamic, galvanic, SZ curve and ionetophoresis. Each segment we have a different sub waveforms. In interferential we have a two waveform, 4-pole interferential, 2-pole interferential. In pulse biphasic we have a VMS, VMS burst mode, VMS FR mode, asymmetric tense, symmetric tense, alternating rectangular, microcurrent and hand stimulation. In Russian, we have only Russian. In pulse monophasic, we have a high volt, monophasic rectangular pulse, monotriangular pulse, surge monorectangular, surge monotriangular, Trabert and interrupted galvanic. So all these currents are there. In didynamic, we have a different currents for the didynamic, and in galvanic, we have a direct continuous galvanic current. So all these currents can be detailed studies with the description. We have a modality description where we find what is the current, what are the terms, what is the sleep frequency, what is the vector scanning, what is the current format, and what indication we use this current. So each and every current we have a details in the electrotherapy. We just select the waveform and we go to the modality description and we find the detail of the waveform or current in this unit. Apart from that, we can go to any waveform, we can select, we can see the guidelines, we can select any body part we want to to give the treatment to the patient, and we find how to place the electrode with the different locations or with the different conditions. So we have all suggested electrode placement as well with the guidelines. Any body part you select, you will find the placement, front, back, everywhere. This is for calf muscles. This is for shoulder muscles. So we can show for a thoracic, shoulder, side shoulder, upper shoulder, everywhere. In each electrotherapy current, we have a customization option. So we can customize all the parameters of electrotherapy, contraction, cycling on, cyclic off, what frequency we need, what phase duration or pulse duration we need, we need to be have anti-fatigue on or off. We can select the channel mode as well, single channel, reciprocal or co-contract. We can select the size of the electrode. According to that, we can give the treatment to the patient with the different electrodes. And we have an option for constant current and constant voltage as well. So even we can set the intensity parameter here, and then after we can start the treatment. Time parameter can be set from this location. So each and every waveform have this customized protocol. We can see that amplitude modulation in asymmetric biphasic is available, burst frequency, normal frequency, frequency modulation are also available in this. Cyclic on and off is there. If I put the cyclic on, then there will be a feature of ramp on time and off time. So each and every parameter can be set up. Each and every parameter can be designed up according to the treatment of the patient or according to your requirement to give the treatment to the patient. In the electrotherapy format, I have given you the detail of all these parameters. Now we have one option of sequencing, where we want to give treatment to the patient with a 2 or more different waveforms. Like we want to give a IFT for pain relief and muscle strengthening to give either through Russian or through VMS. So we have an option of sequencing where we can use So we have an option to select 2 or 3 electrotherapy waveform to give a patient one-time treatment. We set the option from these lists. We can set the sequence where we want to go for the pain gate control, inflammation, muscle spasm, or pain control or rehab through VMS. So we just select the wave, which then you'll find this. We can set 3 parameters or 3 sequence of electrotherapy at one time and give to the patient on the particular location. So first we have set the VMS. Second, we can set it either maybe through VMS or we can go to give, like we want to give with VMS microcurrent or something like monophasic rectangular. So we can select that. So first is VMS, second is monophasic rectangular, and third, on the phase of third, we can set it up to Russian. So now we have option. We have selected VMS, we have selected monophasic rectangular, and third we have selected Russian. Each and every waveform we have selected in the sequence can be edited, can be set up the parameters, whatever you require, we can set, and then we can start for the sequence. Like suppose in the VMS I want to put the phase duration of 300, frequency of 80, and contraction of 10 seconds and relaxation of 10 seconds as well. Right? So my VMS is as per my requirement, it's saved. Now I want to set the monophasic rectangular. Then I can go edit here, set the time of 5 minutes, set the burst frequency of 12 and the frequency of 150.
Dr. Boria.
So we can set the every parameter in every segment in the sequence, and we can give it to the patient. We don't have to come again and again to put the intensity or frequency or changing of the waveform or changing of the current or changing of the electrodes. We just put the sequence, we can just place the electrode, and treatment will continue for these all three waveforms. This is called sequency. We can set it. In the SD curve, we can go through. We have two options of drawing the SD curve. First is monophasic rectangular pulse. Second is monophasic triangular pulse. So I'll just give you a brief of setting up the SD curve. So we'll just start the unit first, and then we increase the intensity. We just check where we first got the feeling of the current. On the first point of feeling of the current, we just press the confirm button over here. So this thing will set up Rio base for our surface EMG graphical of muscles. Then we come again from the second point. We'll just check, might be it goes little higher, and then he will get the feeling. Then we again put the confirm. So we'll just set the milliseconds, reducing to draw the SD curve. So this will define that chronexia is 50 milliseconds. So we got our chronexia. Now I have drawn the curve from 1000 milliseconds to 1 milliseconds in the rectangular pulse. Now I'll just select the monotriangular pulse and giving you the best chronexia for. Now I have started the unit treatment. Here he got the feeling over here for first feeling of monophasic triangular pulse. So I'll just see. So we can find out the maximum threshold chronexia by drawing the graph for triangular pulse. So it will be setted once we complete this graph of triangular pulse. So it may be crossing on the point of this, or maybe at this. So as per the standard, international standard, the maximum or accommodation threshold should be around 1.5 to 1.2. It should be between 1.5 to 1.2 to get the best surface EMG or strand duration curve. So strand duration curve should be measured with accommodation threshold, and it should be as per the international standard between 1.5 to 1.2. That is the measurement we can draw through surface strain duration curve. So this is how we draw the curve. This is how we find the accommodation threshold of any muscular area. So we can save this protocol, we can save this to USB drive, or we can again run this treatment. So we can save this in the name of customer or in the name of date. We can save it. Save as a new name and we can save. So this is now saved. So we can find out the treatment in so we can retrieve the data in the custom protocol on the name of patient we have saved. So we can just see the graph, and next time we can add more graphs and get the more result oriented data for, or we can take it as a printout from the USB slot we have in the unit on the back side of the screen. We can take this data as a printout. I'll come to the next feature of the unit. So now I'll come to the next feature of anatomical library. We can just touch the screen of any body part where we want to go for the anatomical library, and we can see, like I have selected the wrist or hand, so there is no pathological images right now, but in the anatomical library we have a bone or ligament image, we have a muscular image, we have a posterior bone and ligament image, and we have a posterior muscular image. In the other body part like cervical, we have a pathological image, like we have a bulgous disc, whiplash tear. So we can just select the condition and we can see that this is the whiplash tear. The treatment will be given on this. We can educate the patient that this tear will be treated with this particular machine, and it will take around 5 days, 7 days, 10 days, 15 days treatment. As per the physiotherapist, we give a time to his patient that this condition will be taken this much time to get relieved, get healed, so patient can get the confidence in the physio that physio is giving me the particular condition where we have an issue and how much time it will take. So this is how we can educate the patient. Like suppose I'll just select the knee, or there may be a ACL tear, LCL tear, MCL tear, Osgood scalter. So we can just select the particular condition and we can see that this area is got infected, got damaged. So we have to treat this area and get the results. Like ACL tear, so we'll show the patient that this is the ACL tear. We'll treat this ACL tear and it will take 7 days or 15 days time to get healed up. I'll come to the next feature of this unit is a combination therapy. So we in the combination, we can go with high voltage combination, two pre-modulated IFT combination, or 4-pole IFT combination, or VMS, or asymmetric TENS or symmetric TENS. So we can just select the particular any of the conditions. We can see what is the modality description, and we can see how to treat the area. So this will be through ultrasound or through electrotherapy. We can set the parameters like electrotherapy in symmetric biphasic. We have a 2 inches round electrode. We can set the constant voltage, continuous treatment time, frequency will be 50 Hz, or we can set all these parameters again as I told you in electrotherapy. In the ultrasound, we can go with ultrasound 1 MHz, 3 MHz. We want to set the duty cycle or continuous, or what intensity we want to set the parameters, we can set it. Which applicator we want to use, right or left, we have two options. We can go for single ultrasound applicator with 5 cm applicator, or we can use 1 centimeter applicator as well to treat the patient. In this unit, we have one more option to get the pain scale before treatment and after treatment with the help of patient. Suppose patient say the pain scale right now is 10. So after treatment, before treatment it's a 10, and after treatment we can save it after the treatment. So this is about the combination. You can see all different modes of combinations. We can set like 4-pole, we can set the carrier frequency, we can set the vector squaring, auto on 40%, auto on 100%, or manual. We can swipe frequency on or off. We can fix the beat frequency as well. We can set the cycle on, cycle of time, and intensity for channel 1 and 2. Or we can save the every treatment parameter or on the patient name. Now I'll come to the surface EMG. The surface EMG we can use as a biofeedback of the unit, or we can treat the patient with surface EMG with the stimulation. The first three options will show you the only biofeedback effect of the patient's muscles through surface EMG. We can get it through here. We can just place the electrode on the patient body and get the biofeedback through this graph. But if you want to treat the patient with the surface EMG with stimulation, then we can set the parameter of all the waveforms, only waveform we are using to treat. Then we can set the parameters of target, where patient will go and contract or trigger the muscles. Then the contraction will be on and give the treatment with biofeedback of muscles. Right now I cannot start it because I haven't placed the electrodes. So if electrode is placed, I can show you the treatment with surface EMG. Now I'll come to the clinical protocol suggested. So we have a different body parts and we have a different body structure. So we can go to any body part and see. So we have two options: select the indication or select a treatment objective. So we can select any of the parameter with our requirement, what we want to give a patient. If we want to achieve the objective of pain management or inflammation management or wound management or any other objective we have to achieve, or edema management, circulations, so we can go with the objective. Or if we want to treat the conditions like rotator cuff tendonitis, subacromial bursitis, impigmentation, arthritis, arthrosis, so we can go with the conditions. So we have a both option. If we want to go with the objective, we just select the objective like edema management, either acute edema or chronic edema. So we just select and we find that what are the suggested options we can go with to treat the patient. So in the edema management we have option of VMS. If we want to go for arthritis, arthrosis, we have this objective to be achieved: pain management, control theory, optic release, acute or chronic. So we can select any of the condition. Then we select, so find that electrotherapy we have ionophoresis, ultrasound, combi of interferential 4-pole with 2 pole with ultrasound. So these are the options we can, or we can go with the laser. So all the options we can go with to treat that particular condition. So we just have to select that particular segment and give the treatment to the patient. So in the suggested protocol, we have all options or all suggestions how we treat to the patient. Thank you. You can contact on this number for more details and demo units.